Well, welcome to the E-Cafe. Thank you for tuning into our virtual cafe. I am your host, Kay Elizabeth Green, and I am the author of Building Spiritual Muscle. And as an intuitive channel, it is my honor, my pleasure to work with all of you highly sensitive, natural born leaders, which I refer to as indigos. Remember how powerful you are, recognize your gifts, and learn to trust your inner guidance. For the month of April, I am highlighting all of these highly sensitive natural born leaders that have trusted their intuition and are now making a difference. And today, I have asked a friend to come in to help you decide what can you do right now with all of that time you have. I know you leaders are saying, well, hey, if I had the time, I would. So I have invited my dear friend, Kira Herschel, to
Henschel.
join us today. Hi, Kira.
Hi there. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Wonderful.
I know many people are feeling like this new world that we're moving into is going to be challenging, and that we are supposed to have social distancing. But even though we may have physical distancing, I think
Yeah,
we need to have the social interaction.
absolutely.
And where in the world are you? Since we can.
Where in the world? I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where it actually snowed last night. Go figure.
Okay, this weather. Well, it was raining and thunderstorming in Vegas. So, hey, global
Mhm.
warming, there's something that Mother Nature is definitely trying to get our attention on.
Yes, I agree.
Well, I have known Cure for over 13 years because it was before my grandbaby. So,
I think it was 2005 when we met.
all right. And we really met virtually,
Yes.
and have formed a bond that I definitely depend on you and call you a friend. Yeah.
Likewise.
Tell us a little bit here about you before we get into bringing out the book in you.
Uh, well, um, let's see. No, what do you want to know?
Okay, what besides being my publisher, my editor, and helping other authors do their thing, also a professor, correct?
Yes.
So tell us just a little, just because you know we forget that as we are making this transitions, others have made the transition before us. So,
Well, I guess mine has been a pretty circuitous route, you know, back and forth and snaking around. My formal education in college, I majored in geology and in international relations. Ended up moving over to Austria in the middle of Europe for about 13 years
okay.
and had a translation agency. So I was doing technical translations, railroads and tunnels and technical stuff from German geology into English geology. And then somebody asked me if I would be interested in helping to translate a book. So the first book I translated was The Austrian Political System. And
Oh,
then
heavy book.
heavy book. Another one was on halflinger horses, another couple of cookbooks, so I got into the book world. When I came back to the US in 1992, I still worked in a technical field. I was working with power generation, steam turbines, gas turbines, doing some marketing, doing, whatever it was. And then I got a job as a production manager at a small publishing company and really learned from the bottom up. We did a lot of prep work for McGraw-Hill, Prentice Hall, some of the big textbook companies. And then somebody asked me, how do I get published? And so I started doing workshops on the whole publishing process. And I'd be happy to share that also with your fans,
with the listeners. Yeah.
with your fans.
Uh-huh.
And then I was helping somebody. I was doing book coaching quite a bit and doing workshops. And out of that, somebody said, well, could you publish my book? And it just so happened I was working full-time at a jewelry store. This was Memorial Day. This is kind of a funny story. It was Memorial Day weekend, and everybody was coming into the jewelry store with kind of, they were selling bratwursts and hot dogs and stuff out in the parking lot. So everybody was coming in with greasy hands. And I just said, I'm done. I'm done with this stuff. I'm not going to be doing this anymore. So then
we are recording this live. Hey, we got bunches of people in our house at the moment. You all know how it is. Go ahead.
Yes, exactly. Well, so anyway, I decided then and there that I was going to, on my break, I got my first 10 ISBNs. Those are the little numbers that are on the back of the book that identify your book. And that's how I started it. Memorial Day, 1999 was when I decided to become a publisher. So I've been doing it since then. I'm going into my 18th year of actually being an official publisher. I've published over 750 books. So,
And when like Kara said, we met each other about 2005 in one of these webinars, or it was on the telephone, I believe, where she was offering to help get your book out. And at that time, as a speaker, because I was traveling all over the country, I was looking at transitioning from working for the corporate world and doing more personal development. And specifically, I have this passion to work with Indigo. And she drug this book out of me because I am an Indigo too. And we have a tendency of being more oral than written. And that is why I really wanted to introduce her to you all, because you probably are like me, that you say, well, I can't write. And having grown up with having a mother who was a teacher, who everything had to be perfect, it really I had a whole lot of fears about producing things. Now, this book took us, and like I said, she
5 years. 5 years.
She drug it out of me. And I am so blessed that she stayed with me, because it's part channeled. I am an intuitive channel, and working with somebody who is also a sensitive and understands the challenge I was going through from listening to my head. You can't do it. You can't do it. Who do you think you are? To listening to my heart that said, you have a message that needs to get out, and I'm going to help you get it out. And she would constantly ask me,
I nagged you.
Yes. And when I went off track, she said, well, what would they say? What would they say? And kept bringing me back to the goal, the reason why I set out to write the book to begin with, to even
Mm-hmm.
begin this adventure. So hopefully she's going to share some tips with you because she has, well, not hopefully, I know every time I interview Kira, she shares some great tips with you. But we're going to talk about bringing out the book in you. She has put it in a very easy form
Mm-hmm.
for you to do at home. Now that you have this opportunity to you write, you say, well, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Well, thank God you now
Yes.
have the time.
Yes.
And and hopeful, and when you finish listening, you will also have the information to be able to get your book out too. Now, one question I wanted to ask Kira before she tells us a little bit about bringing out the book in you, because I was doing my pre-interview and I asked her about a time that she trusted her inner guidance. And she told me that she trusted her inner guidance by learning to say no. What do you mean by that, Kira?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, last year in 2019, or it's actually December of 2018, that I decided I wasn't going to be taking on any new authors, that I had to, just say no, because it takes a long time to put a book together. It takes a lot of focus and intuition and, many other characteristics. And
Mhm.
I wanted to be able to spend more time and more energy with my current authors. And
Yeah.
I just felt that that was the right choice to do that.
Yeah. And a lot of us have a problem, especially as women of our age, young chickens like we are, have been raised to think that we're being selfish by saying no, or that we have to help everybody.
No,
Yeah,
but it takes a while to learn that, doesn't it?
oh, it does. But when you do, uh, it really helps you to begin to live your life opposed to somebody else's life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Now, with Bring Out the Book in You, and let me bring it up. Uh, what exactly is Bring Out the Book in You, Kira?
Well, that's really that. Those were the early workshops that I led, and it's a video program that it's, I think, eight sections or eight chapters, and it just goes through the whole publishing process, because I think that's what people really need to understand. It's not just, you write something and you send it to an agent and it becomes a bestseller. It doesn't happen that way, unfortunately. Um,
Okay.
and authors really or people who want to write, need to think about who their audience is, who would be reading the book. Because, for instance, with your book, you wanted to really be helpful for indigos.
Correct.
And I think we put the book together in a way that it's welcoming, and that it would help, help people read it who don't really like to read much sometimes.
Correct.
So it's big print, and not giant, but it was larger. But you really need to think about, who are you writing the book for?
Yeah,
Some
because
people just write for themselves,
yeah, I
and
was going to say when I was thinking about it, that's why we use the large print and the minimum amount of words, because I wanted it to be for parents at that time that were raising indigo children. Now we have all of those indigos are now parents. So hopefully that will help them, something they can quickly read and really pull in that information, but knowing who
Mhm.
you're writing for makes a big difference. What are some of the other
Absolutely.
parts of it, Kira, that
Well, it's talking about the publishing industry, and now because of the coronavirus, things have changed quite a bit. I was talking to a printer, and printing has gone down by 50% in some cases.
Mhm,
The paper producers, one
mhm,
of the paper vendors, actually, his business has dropped 90%.
mhm.
So, I mean, it's really impacting people. Amazon has, before Christmas, I was getting all sorts of orders from Amazon.
Okay.
And now it's totally dried up because apparently books are not considered essential. I
Mhm.
beg to differ, but
Me too, being a book lover.
right, right. But it's just how do you deal with the publishing industry? Even the big five publishers in New York are challenged, are struggling. They're laying off people, and it's really the world has shifted. So, but what I try to do in the video too, in these 8 chapters, is just to provide a context so that you know that you're not alone in this adventure of trying to write a book. And I do, even though I'm not taking on new authors, I'm more than happy to help coach people and provide information or provide advice. Um, I think what the bring out the book in you also does, it breaks it down into being something simple, so it's not so scary.
And before she put it together as a course, I got to follow through it, and I would definitely put diddles. Yes, it helped. It asked questions that I hadn't thought about. It helped me to think about the idea opposed to editing it and thinking, if, like I said, my perfect mama, if I had my sentences right, and as Kira knows, all of my endings, my EDs and my S's, and that was stopping me. That was really blocking me from getting out the idea. And when you learn that, get the idea first. Get all your
Right.
thoughts down first, then worry about putting it together. Is how she was able to get me over it. It was a very big
Fear.
mountain. Yeah, it was
It
a
was
fear.
fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if this isn't good enough? Then that's every author has that.
Mhm.
Every author has it.
What if nobody reads it? Well, I
Well,
didn't
so what?
okay, it's written, it's done. And also, building spiritual muscle is my story of discovering my gift.
Mhm.
And whether or not anybody else reads it, it helped me to really hone in on all of those parts of my life that I thought were a curse.
Mhm.
When you look back at it, you realize being sensitive, having certain gifts that I thought were curses.
Mhm.
You know, so getting it out, whether you sell it or not, I mean, especially since you have the time to really get those thoughts out of your head and to help you plan where you're going when we get on the other side, because we will get to the other
Oh,
side.
absolutely. There's no question. There's no question about that. Um, but it's what I've found is just about everybody feels that he or she has a book inside,
Mhm.
and it's a way of leaving a legacy. It's a way of communicating with future generations. And I've done quite a few memoirs for people, or worked on memoirs with people, and it's always, my life mattered.
Yes.
And, I think that's really an important part of it.
I like that. My life matters. That is one of the things that it really brought home real strong to me in actually getting it out. And
Mhm.
then to actually see my book in print is even better. You know, you can pat.
Great.
Well, I should be
Yeah.
patting Kira on
Yes.
the back. She truly
Social distance, social distance.
a virtual hug, though.
Yes, yes,
you,
absolutely.
you know. So if you are looking and the if you're looking to bring out the book in you, and if you see it is only less than $20, okay? When you are thinking about buying that bottle to drink, you know, you could alleviate and get out the anxiety by writing.
Mhm.
$20 is nothing to
Right.
invest in yourself. And even if you say, well, everything's tight, I don't know where it's coming from or where I'm going to go with it, 20 is worth investing in yourself. You can
I was
find
just going to say that, Liz.
what
It's a, it's an investment in yourself.
yeah, it is. That's what you're doing right now. You have, and it is not selfish to take $20 and to decide to invest it in you.
Mhm.
And, you know, what else were you going to say, Kara?
I was going to say that if somebody contacts me or um, can email me or through you or whatever, that I would be happy to give them a discount. I have to talk to the team behind the Udemy program. There are 3 other people who are involved, but we'd be happy to give a discount or a
Okay.
scholarship. So we'll figure that out, and you can let your folks know.
All right, you all heard it, and all of the information to how to contact Cure will be in the description of the video. Ah, is there anything else that you would like to share? Kira, why don't you just go ahead and say how people can contact you? I will definitely be putting it in the description, but just
Sure. Best way is by email. Um, it's Kira, Kira, at Henschel House Publishing. I'm sorry, Henschel House Books. So it's Kira at HenschelHausBooks.com. If you go to the website, there's also a place where you can schedule um, a, like a 15-minute conference or conference call or coaching call or however you'd like to word that. And I can give you my phone number also. It's a cell phone, 608 576 9747. 608 576 9747. And that's probably the easiest way. And just say that you heard about me on Liz's e-cafe.
at the e cafe when she stopped in to share about bringing out the book in you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Liz. That's
Yeah.
great.
So, as I said, you will find all of that information of how to contact Kira. Also, you will find information of how to get my book,
There you go. Yay.
you know, and link to do that. Also, for those of you who, let me do this here. Excuse me, my water. For those of you who are wondering if you're an Indigo or not, I have a short, I'm put together an ebook called Blessing or Cursed. You can get that book, that ebook, without even giving me your email. I want you to be able to have the information. So, again, in the description, the link will take you there. You will get the ebook and you can download it and see if it gives you some more information about yourself. I believe in know thyself. Excuse me. And the more you know about yourself,
Mhm.
the better it is in helping you to plan and create the life you want. Know both your strengths and your weaknesses. And I don't know, but I'm being prompted to also tell you that I do a life path reading. Many people say they wish they had a map. Well, you do have a map. You were given the map when you first walked in here. And numerology is one of the tools I use. And if you are saying, well, hey, I'm thinking I should go that way, but I'm not sure. I wish I would know what's up ahead. I do life path readings. And you've had one, Kira. Do you feel that
I was just going to jump in and say it's really valuable and it's great. It just gives you direction.
Okay, because once you have the map, then you can decide what road you're going to take.
Exactly. The freeway or the bumpy back road.
Okay, and hopefully you will learn to take the freeway and not have to stumble all over the in the wilderness on your own.
Yes.
So, Kira, thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me. I always love it because you always are sharing valuable information. And I love that you support me.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm being prompted, and so I am going to go ahead and share from the book. Because I think it's vital at this time. Calling all sleepers. Calling all sleepers. This was downloaded to me in 2002, and it goes, it is time to wake up. It is time to unite. I placed you here upon this place to be ready when it was time. Calling all sleepers, wake up and unite. I've trained you, I've supported you, I have nurtured and protected you. So you would be ready when the time came. The time is now for all of my spiritual sleepers who know the truth to it is time to come out of hiding. It is to speak up and to share your light. Take off the veil and allow your true nature to be seen. It is time. Stand up, speak up, and unite. Don't question why, how, or where. Just follow my lead. I will take care of you. Just be a clear vessel and allow me to use you to guide my people to their own great uniqueness. Stand up and rejoice. Be happy as you move forth into this phase of your life. Go forth and prosper. And so, my dears, I wish that we need all of you leaders. You are in the place that you are supposed to be.
Yes.
To really speak your truth and not let anybody dim your light. So with
Wonderful.
that, may light, love, and plenty of laughter accompany you on the path. I am Elizabeth. Thank you so much, Kira.
You're welcome.
May you have a blessed one.
Thank you so much, Liz. Great being here.
Thank you.